So we're going to start number 24 here. We're going to do this wing rail, which is your catch of your frog, comes down to the point. Okay, so we're going to do the inner one here. It's going to be out of the curved rail. So I want to bring this down. I want to just go maybe the space of the tie longer. And you can lay that right up in there, and then you can see how tall you have to be to catch the end of it there. It's pretty close to the template, so I should be able to get it in there. I should be able to make it that long and not have to file off a whole bunch. Come on, cut. If I can get it to cut. Well, I didn't like to make a cut on that. I had a hard point in the rail there. Alright. Put both ends good and square. Now we're going to take our point form tool, and we want to use the side that says points. And the rails point upwards. And I want to file the outside edge of the curve. So I'm going to put that in there, and we'll run it up. Get anything that's filings or anything you got in there, you want to kind of get them out of the way. And you can see how Fast Tracks have given you the black backing in here, so you can see how far you want to extend your rail to get that point. We'll just get us our tool, laying down flat, lay our file flat, and you just keep working that until you can feel a change in the way your file is biting, because it drags across the rail, but then on this hardened steel it's just going to slide real easy. So that's when you know you're down far enough. You don't want to keep working at crooked or anything like that, because eventually you'll make your tool out of square. Yeah, you just keep doing this until you get down to the steel. You know what, I think that just slipped on me. It did. You see that? It slid. It slid clear up there. So maybe my hands aren't as strong as I thought they were being today. Give it a snug. Alright, now we should be able to do it without losing it. Alright, I can feel it changing now. right there, you kind of hear the sound changed a little bit too. Now I'm sliding over the top of the tool. Kind of hear that? You never want to come backwards. That little tip will grab and bend. You come with your finger, it's like surgical steel. It will cut you and you won't even know it until you've really hurt yourself. So always go with, even like on your edges of your tool here, you want to be careful where that top edge, because these after years become pretty sharp. Get in here and dress the bottom edge where we were filing. Okay, nope, feels like I got something on the top, so take it from the top and drag down on the rail. That'll kind of, whatever you got of a burr, it'll roll it over the edge and break it off. So you got a nice crisp edge to that rail. Make sure that our web is open. Looks like I didn't quite get that squared off good when I started. That looks pretty decent. And guess what? I made a rail for the other side. I hate that when I do that. I got it wrong. You guys have been laughing for 10 minutes going, he's got that wrong. He's got that wrong. I made the rail for that side. See how I filed it? And this will be the piece that moves in and out of that stock rail. Well, actually that's a diverging rail, but it will have a relief in it like this one, and it will do this. So we will save that for another turnout. Alright, well, you kind of got the gist. Now I'll stop this and I'll make the correct one. Alright, so the part that got me messed up on the other one is I forgot to orientate my rail before I went filing and everything. So you've got it in the tool. This is the top, bottom's facing down. It is curved. You can kind of see out the end of the tool there, it's curved. It is curving the right way. I do want to file off the outer side of the rail. So I've got the outer side now. So instead of being on this side of the tool, I should have been on this side of the tool. And the way they've got them designed, which I keep forgetting every time I pick the tool up, that if you put it this way, the rail on this side goes to there, and the rail on that side goes to there. I don't know why I can't fathom that concept. But for some reason, I build them backwards a lot. So, I will, turn around so I can file this. And I will get that all set and continue on. Okay, so I got the new one made. You can see how it comes down and comes to the point like it's supposed to. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let's see, how can we get that? How can we get that to be able to be seen? There you go. See how the end of that rail it's almost perfect half of what it was, which gives you, I don't know if you can see it, that little teeny shadow of a triangle right there. That's just where it's starting to show signs of maybe that web is getting too thin. You want to go down to just about that point, maybe stop just a bit before. I might have taken that one just a bit much. And you see the top of the rail almost looks like it, to the bare eye, like it's rolling over. See if I can get on that thumbnail and see it. But anyway, we want to take this and get it up in here. Get it on top of this long rail, and get it seated into that little pocket there that you created. Okay, now we'll come up here, and what we're going to do is we're going to file and put a kink in this. Oop, bounced it out of that pocket. So there, I can hold it in there, and come down here. You can see on your template, right there is where it's bent, right at the edge of that tie. So what I want to do, and find the edge of the rail, there we go. I just want to bounce a little mark in there. You end up with something like that right there, just a little teeny mark. Take your triangle file. We're going to get lined up on that little guy. Turn the rail about 30-40 degree angle. And you're just going to file that foot. Oops, I marred my rail and put two marks in there. Just enough to get back to the web. You end up with something like that right there. What that's for is that's where that's going to bend. So I stick my thumbnail in there, and I just give it a little tug. So that is another one for the blooper reel. I must need to eat something. My blood sugar's got to be low. I'm not thinking for poo. Do you see what I did? I put my wing rail on the wrong side. It's supposed to be over here, so that notch should have been over here and bent it the other way. I wonder if I can salvage this rail and just bend it. Boy, that looks better. Here's what that first rail I made is going to be good for. That's going to work. Usually I'd just throw that in the pile and make another one. But I'm going to see if we can't salvage this one. So here I am, back in the pocket where you should be, holding it with my finger. Now then I'll come back, and I'm going to make this the length of the template guardrail. Bob that end off. Square it. A lot of guys will leave it like that and just have it squared. I like to come in here and relieve it like we did them other guardrails up there and put that 45 or so mark on there. Give it just a little bit of an edge to catch a wheel or something. Okay. Them all gooped up there. Okay, and that's kind of looking pretty good. All right. Now then, just back that off enough that would be like a paper's width of not bottoming out. Just backed out a little bit. Oops, I got that on the other side. Okay. So let's come up here. Close to our mark there. We'll just tack it. Down and go through the entire point. Oop. Get it on your rail there. Get it to bend up in there and be able to hold it and you guys see at the same time. I want to bring that up and show that rail where the curve is. Okay. I need to bring it over just a touch. My tack was just a touch off, so let's bring it over. Come on. There we go. All right. So that tack's better. Let's tack the top of that rail, or the head of that rail, or the one closest to the frog, whatever you want to call this. just a touch. Just enough to hold it there. There we go. Alright, so that's just enough to hold it into place. We are clearing this bend part right here, the knuckle. We are clearing that with our gauge. So we're in gauge. So our wheel will come by and the flange, the back of the wheel of the flange on the wheel will just ride right along that. Perfect. So it's not going to try and bump over in your frog. And come right on down, and it feels fairly smooth when you slide that across there. If you can keep it down, I got just a touch of a twist in that, it looks like. We'll address that later when you go to do your points. But basically that's what you want to get right there for now. Then we'll build the other side. We'll get this rail in here, and then we can adjust all this where it needs to go. So that's why you want to just barely tack. You just want to barely tack a couple of areas like this, because it's real hard if you went in and soldered every one and soldered that down. Then it would be real hard to get this rail in line and that one in line where you need it to be. So if you just tack them, you're there. And I think I'll stop it there and go to the next one.